But one of the things with music theory is you learn the rules to break them. You know, it's like so
What a
it's
great
good
analogy that
knowledge
is.
to know so that you can communicate well with other musicians, but
Right,
most people that are doing music professionally did not learn it from a book.
right,
They learned it by spending time on their instrument and listening to
right.
records and diving in and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, my music theory background, I'm still at like, probably an 18-year-old's level for that. But I know enough to get around and enough to be able to explain it to people if it does come up to, that I
Right.
need to be like, oh yeah, I need to score this out. Like I do most of my charting by hand on staff paper. It's tedious, but it ingrains the material in your head
Right,
more.
right,
And
right.
for me, it's a easier way to get off book quicker.
Yeah. But
Um,
I love that analogy. You learn it to break it. That's that
well, honestly, like that was
you know
when I was doing composition classes, it's like parallel fifths are bad. And, like you have to have, in counterpoint and stuff, you have to have things moving in a certain direction to be like correct.
right.
But my theory professor was like, "Wow, that's really cool. Like, why did you write it that way?" And you have to be like able to explain yourself. Like, well, not normally like parallel fifths are, just come off dissonant and like they're not always in the structure of the chord and stuff. So I did it to build tension and to have something feel a little off to elicit a response from the listener. Then they're like, "Oh, yes, blah, blah, blah," and it's all that. Like know the rules so that you can break them and explain why you broke them. And things. All music is tension and release and you know either melody or harmony. So it's
Right.
the more that you know what should be done, the more you can deviate from that to elicit a response from the listener or to get creative out of the box a little bit so it doesn't just sound like you're repeating the same 12 notes or four chords. Like you
Right,
can
right.
you can write a four-chord song that's got the same progression as everything on the radio, but if
Right.
you structure your melody different, it's like it's going to sound completely different and stand out.
Right. And which is the amazing thing about music in
Yeah.
general is that there's, so many songs that use the chords D, G,
Yeah.
C, and A, and all of them sound completely different.